What does it signify when a country's own diplomats discreetly send their families far from the homeland they are sworn to serve and protect? It raises questions about the true state of affairs back home. In the bustling city of Manila, the loved ones of Venezuelan envoys find a sanctuary, a refuge far removed from the turmoil they're paid to downplay in their official capacities. These diplomats project an image of stability and normalcy abroad, yet privately, they make a telling choice. Their families are deemed safer in the Philippines than in the heart of Caracas. This silent exodus is not about seeking new opportunities or adventures. It's fundamentally about survival and ensuring the safety of their loved ones. The diplomats remain steadfast at their posts, fulfilling their duties, but their hearts and thoughts are with their families, who are now navigating new lives and challenges in Southeast Asia. The decision to relocate is born from countless sleepless nights and whispered phone calls about empty grocery store shelves and rampant crime back home in Venezuela. Manila, though an unexpected choice, offers a sense of safety, affordability, and a welcoming atmosphere, comforts that are increasingly rare for Venezuelans today. The paradox is stark and undeniable. Those defending government policies abroad are taking extraordinary steps to shield their loved ones from the very consequences of those policies. Publicly, they speak of resilience and strength. Privately, they search for schools and apartments in Manila, hoping for a better future. This quiet migration is an unspoken critique of their nation's ongoing crisis, a silent testament to the challenges they face. To understand the flight to Manila, we must first understand Venezuela's collapse. Once South America's jewel, Venezuela boasted oil wealth, free education, and vibrant cities. Today it's a shadow of its former self. Years of mismanagement, corruption, and failed policies hollowed out institutions. When oil prices crashed, the government's response, price controls, currency manipulation, and expropriation, only deepened the crisis. Hyperinflation wiped out savings, the bolivar became worthless. Basic necessities, food, medicine, water, became luxuries. Hospitals ran out of supplies, treatable illnesses became deadly, blackouts and water shortages became routine. Political dissent was crushed and crime soared. Kidnappings and violence turned daily life into a struggle for survival. The state could no longer protect its citizens. For families, the constant threat of violence and scarcity made staying impossible. From this landscape of fear and deprivation, the diplomats' quiet exodus began. Ricardo, a mid-level diplomat stationed in Asia, will never forget the day his phone rang and his wife Elena's panicked voice broke through the line. Their young son was struggling to breathe, another severe asthma attack, and this time, there were no inhalers left in Caracas. The city's pharmacies were empty, and the hospitals could offer no help. Ricardo felt utterly powerless, thousands of miles away, unable to comfort his family or provide what they needed most. After hours of desperate searching, a friend managed to find a single inhaler on the black market, paying a steep price for what should have been a basic necessity. The relief was immediate, but so was the fear. What if next time there was nothing to be found? That night, as Ricardo stared out his window, he realized his diplomatic duty couldn't come at the cost of his son's life. The weight of responsibility pressed down on him, forcing him to reconsider everything he thought he knew about sacrifice and family. A trusted colleague suggested Manila, a city known for its safety, affordable living, and welcoming community. It seemed like a place where his family could finally breathe easy, both literally and figuratively. Within weeks, Ricardo arranged for Elena and their son to move to the Philippines, officially for medical care, a necessary fiction to satisfy diplomatic protocols. The decision was swift, but the emotions were complicated. He watched their departure over a tearful video call, his heart aching as he tried to reassure them from afar, knowing he couldn't be there to hold their hands through the transition. In Manila, Elena was suddenly thrust into a new world. She faced culture shock and deep loneliness, becoming a homemaker in a foreign land where every street, every word, and every custom felt unfamiliar. The abundance in Manila's supermarkets brought both relief and guilt. Elena was grateful her son could finally get the medicine and food he needed, but her thoughts often drifted to the family and friends left behind in Venezuela, still struggling. Ricardo visited when he could, but Elena bore the daily burden, finding an apartment, enrolling their son in school, and slowly building a new life from scratch. Each day brought new challenges, but also small victories. The language barrier and endless bureaucracy made even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming. Filling out forms, navigating government offices, and asking for help became daily tests of patience and resilience. Elena often sat alone in cafes wondering if they had simply traded one set of problems for another. The safety was real, but so was the ache of separation and the uncertainty of their future. The streets outside were peaceful, but the isolation inside their apartment was heavy. Nights felt especially long, filled with memories of home and questions about what lay ahead. Over time, small kindnesses from neighbors, a shared meal, a friendly greeting, an offer to help, began to chip away at her loneliness. Slowly, Elena started to feel less like a stranger. Her son, too, began to find his place at school, making friends and smiling again. Seeing him happy gave Elena hope that maybe, just maybe, they could build something new here. Yet, the hardest part remained, knowing this new life was built on necessity, not choice. Every day, Elena carried the bittersweet truth that their safety and comfort came at the cost of leaving so much behind. Elena's turning point in Manila came through a series of small, unexpected acts of kindness that slowly chipped away at her loneliness and uncertainty. One day, a neighbor offered to help her carry groceries up the stairs, and soon after brought over a steaming plate of pancit, wishing her family good luck in their new home. These simple gestures, though small, reminded Elena of the shared humanity that connects people across cultures and continents, making her feel less like a stranger. Her son, who had been shy and withdrawn at first, was warmly welcomed at his new school. Teachers even learned a few Spanish words to help him feel at home, and classmates invited him to join their basketball games after class. Elena found comfort in the vibrant local markets, where the lively chatter and colorful stalls reminded her of home, and in a nearby Catholic church, where familiar rituals and prayers eased her homesickness and gave her a sense of belonging. Volunteering at a church charity table, handing out food to children, gave her a renewed sense of purpose and a way to connect with others who cared. On weekends, exploring Manila's historic Intramuros, sampling street food at bustling night markets, and joining in the colorful local fiestas helped the city feel less foreign and more like a place of adventure and possibility. The safety they'd sought in Manila was more than just physical protection, it was the emotional security of knowing they could finally relax and be themselves. Elena and her son could now walk the city's busy streets without fear, plan for the future together, and truly feel welcome in their new community. What once seemed like an intimidating, sprawling metropolis gradually became a place of discovery, full of new experiences and friendly faces. Over time, their small apartment filled with laughter and memories, and Manila became more than just a refuge, it became a true home. The freedom to live without fear, to laugh and dream again, was a gift they hadn't known in years, and it brought them closer together. In countless small ways, through shared meals and community events, Elena and her son began to truly belong, finding their place in the heart of Manila. Adjusting to Manila wasn't easy, but surprising similarities softened the transition. Both Venezuela and the Philippines share a Spanish colonial legacy, familiar words, Catholic faith, and a deep emphasis on family. These commonalities created instant connections with Filipino neighbors. Elena bonded with local mothers over family values and daily calls to relatives back home. Attending Mass felt grounding. The church became a community center and anchor. Differences remained. Filipino reserve versus Latin expressiveness, new flavors in food, but were navigated with humor and patience. The Venezuelans learned to appreciate Filipino subtleties, while locals enjoyed their warmth. Shared faith and family values built bridges across cultures. It was a process of mutual discovery and adaptation. As more Venezuelan diplomatic families arrived, a tight-knit community formed in Manila. They found each other through schools, churches, and word of mouth. Potluck dinners, shared recipes, and holiday traditions kept their culture alive. The women supported each other, navigating Manila, sharing tips, and caring for each other's children. These gatherings were vital support systems, offering comfort and understanding. In this safe space, they could be honest about their fears and hopes. The community became a lifeline for the diplomats too, reconnecting them with home during visits. Together, they rebuilt a small piece of Venezuela in Southeast Asia. Their shared experience provided strength and solace far from home. For diplomats like Ricardo, life became a balancing act between duty and family. At work, he promoted a narrative of stability, even as he knew the truth back home. The dissonance was a heavy burden, serving a country he couldn't let his family live in. Patriotism and duty clashed with the primal need to protect his loved ones. Every happy call from Manila confirmed his choice, but guilt lingered. His life split into compartments. Loyal representative by day, worried father by night. He managed finances, sent money home, and followed news from Caracas obsessively. The distance from his family was a constant ache. Missed milestones, parenting through a screen. The arrangement felt unnatural but necessary. Diplomats like Ricardo lived in limbo, unable to bring families to their posts, unwilling to send them home. Their sacrifice was a silent testament to Venezuela's crisis. The cost of duty was measured in separation and longing. Why Manila? The answer lies in the city's character. Manila offers practicality, affordable living, good schools, accessible healthcare. For diplomats on shrinking salaries, these are lifelines. More importantly, Manila's culture of welcome stands out. Filipinos are renowned for hospitality. Venezuelan families found acceptance, not suspicion. Shared history and faith eased the culture shock. The city's anonymity offered protection. Here, they were just another expatriate family. Manila provided what Venezuela could not: normalcy. Supermarkets were stocked, utilities reliable, parks safe. For these families, Manila became a place to breathe, rebuild, and hope. It was more than a shelter. It was a chance at a real life. The quiet migration of Venezuelan diplomatic families to Manila is a story with global resonance. It reflects the human cost of a nation's collapse and the agonizing choices families must make. These are not dissidents, but state-connected families seeking refuge from their own government's failures. Their presence in Manila is a silent indictment of Venezuela's crisis. Manila, through its people and character, became an unlikely haven. The Filipino community's acceptance is a testament to shared humanity. For families like Ricardo's, the future is uncertain. They wait, hoping for a healed Venezuela. Until then, they build new lives in Manila, caught between memory and hope. This story puts a human face on geopolitical crisis, reminding us that behind headlines are families striving for safety. Their journey is a quiet testament to resilience and the universal search for a place to belong.